This is the Joe Kramer, aka Juice Man Joe, coming to you live from my kitchen again. I'm guilty. I did it. It's been a few days. I haven't posted. It's been a rough few days. This is going to be a little bit of a longer post. Today is day 26. I probably haven't posted since day 22. So 23, 24, 25, 26. Wow. It's been rough. So this is day 23, day 24, day 25, day 26. So that's since like Friday. So I spent some running around. I did the fashion show. I'm not going to post it. Some of my old stuff just still doesn't fit, and it was really kind of sad because I'm there. I'm moving towards it, but I'm not there yet. So it's kind of rough. I wound up wearing size 60 pants. It's the largest size I've been. I wound up wearing those pants. They were too big on me, but it was what I had to look nice to a wedding. And then I go to the dry cleaners to pick up my shirt, and it's not there. And it's like, what the, you know. So I wound up having to go buy a new shirt to wear with my suit, with my slacks and sport jacket for the wedding. And went down to South Jersey on Saturday. Today is Monday night, by the way. Went down on Saturday to South Jersey to Tom's River for my friend Joe Farco's wedding. Congratulations, Joe and Lauren. You two make a lovely couple. Right now they're on their way to Italy. But then again, their wedding was one of the most challenging, toughest things I've done in this entire fast. I was there from 2 o'clock-ish at the chapel. So 12 o'clock leaving Brooklyn, driving down to South Jersey, then that's fine. Then at the ceremony was fine. It was easy. It was just, just there. Then they had a 3-hour gap between the ceremony and the reception, and the reception hall was only like an hour away. So we went. They had refreshments back at her mom's place. Her mom was sponsoring stuff, and it's like, okay, I'll go because I don't know her parents too well. I don't know her family too well, so I want to get to know this girl a little better. But at the same time, I'm sitting there. So I tried to find a juice bar, and people were directing me, and they got me to this juice bar in one of the gyms in Club Metro. But it's not fresh juice. It's not organic. It's not raw fruit juice. It's regular orange juice and apple juice out of a can that they use to mix with like ice cream and soy powder and stuff to make shakes and whatnot. And they have a blender, but they don't have a juicer. So anyway, that was a pain in the ass. I went prepared. I had a 1.5 liters of my own juice. I had a liter of this cucumber juice with garlic and romaine lettuce. It was kind of tasted like a pickle, but it was a little too much garlic. It was a little strong in the aftertaste. Still haven't figured out a good green juice recipe. I think the mean green would be good, but for some reason I'm having trouble. It's just not easy for me to juice lemons with my juicer. Like I have to peel it again and like I have to peel it and cut it a certain way, and it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of work, and I don't really feel it, whereas the cucumbers juice really nicely, do juice really well, and it tastes pretty good. There's a strong cucumber taste, but it's not offensive, there's nothing really, no problem with it. But anyway, so down in South Jersey, so a couple hours, so I go over to the house, and they're drinking beer, which doesn't bother me, but I'm having water. But then there's refreshments inside, so there's a edible arrangement, which is this, I don't know if you know what the edible arrangements is. It's this company that hand carves and cuts fruit and makes it in a real nice arrangement, so it looks like a bouquet of flowers, but it's a bouquet of fruit, and they can do some of them chocolate dipped. None of these were chocolate dipped. And I haven't even had it. I bought one for my mom for Mother's Day. Apparently, between that and the card I sent her on Mother's Day that my sister and I sent her, it made her cry. So, like, really awesome, but kind of sad. But anyway, like, wonderful. But the point is, I'm there, and it's like, all right, edible arrangements. I'm looking, I'm thinking, all that stuff would juice really well. It would be some of the most expensive freaking juice in the world. But anyway, so I did that. I didn't have anything. But then they had crumb cake, and I like a good Entenmann's coffee crumb cake. Ugh. And so I was looking at that, and I was like, then that's the epitome. And it's like, that's American food. That's just what it is. So I'm there, I'm holding on, and then I'm talking to this other fella, and we're talking about weight and nutrition, and so we get into that. But then I started having some other good conversation. I talked to this one guy, these couple guys from Jersey. One of them, I think, is a Democrat, and I think the other one's a Republican. It turns out one of them, the one I thought was a Democrat is a Republican, and the one I thought was a Republican was a Democrat. But some of them, they're like, I'll vote for the best guy, but sometimes I like the Democrats, and sometimes I like the Republicans. And now he voted for a Republican for governor of New Jersey, and he doesn't like what the governor's doing. It's really weird, but anyway. We had a really good conversation. It was really heated, really passionate. Got to know these fellas, had a real camaraderie going. So when I saw them at the reception later on, we chilled out, we hung out and talked for a little bit. And that was good, and that was good. So then I got on the road, went in search of another juice bar. It was a natural food place that might have had juice, but by the time I got there, it was closed. And I got to the cocktail hour late, and that was intentional. It was down at the Breakers in Spring Lake, gorgeous hotel, right across the street from the water, lovely space that they had the wedding in. It was a small affair. It was really awesome. It was great for him, for the families to come together, and for his world. Like this is Joe Farco, is one of my good men, really good friend of mine. I'm his big brother in Alpha Phi Omega, National Service Fraternity. So we were in college. We've known each other like 9 years. And he's just got a real expansive, a real big world, knows a lot of people. And Lauren can throw down with that. Lauren is a really good girl. She's really smart. She's pretty, and they have a real good chemistry together. But then they really like each other. Like this, he knew this girl was someone special, and he put in the time to really get to know her and really be clear about what he wants with her and like the life they could have together. And she's an Italian American from South Jersey, and he's an Italian American from Brooklyn, and they were married in a beautiful Roman Catholic church. This place is enormous, like huge. It was really very inspiring. It was wonderful that there really is someone for everyone out there. Anyway, so at the wedding, I find I missed part of the cocktail hour. I go to the concierge to ask them if there's a place they can hold my juice, because I don't want to like have it all at once, and I don't want it to spoil. And they can, and this girl at the desk, Fran, lovely. Hey, Fran, this is a shout-out to you. Fran, the concierge at the Breakers Hotel, is wonderful. She's done some juicing on her own, so she understood, and I showed her my blog, and she's like, oh, my God, great, and she couldn't really watch the videos because she was working. But they were able to keep my juice in the kitchen and in the restaurant, and then just bring it out to me when I wanted to take some. So, like, I went out there three times, so I didn't have to have, like, a liter of juice at once. I was able to have like 15 ounces here, 15 ounces there, 15 ounces there, and like to space it out, and that was really good. Getting into the meal though, we're already going on like now it's going to be hours of sitting with people while they're eating. So my salad plate I gave up to somebody else. My manicotti plate, good food at an Italian wedding, and I'm like, so I said to myself, I'm just going to have some sauce. So I had a tablespoon. Overall, a tablespoon. I had like a teaspoon of the sauce of the manicotti the first time, and then I gave the whole thing away to someone else. And I'm explaining to everybody, I've lost more than 40 pounds, blah, 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 having a great time. And then and telling them about that the two hardest times, there's hard times where it's because I'm being tempted by other food, like I smell food, and there's a food stimulus there. I can see other people eating, and it smells good, and I get it, like it's right there in my face. And then there's times where I'm alone, and it's just, I think to myself, like, I'm hungry. My stomach either growls or does something, and I'm like, oh man, anything, something to eat. And that's when I go for a juice. I mean, I also go for a juice the other time, but that's just to feel full, to feel occupied, kind of, rather than, and to remember, like, from the film, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, there's a scene where Joe Cross is there, and he's talking about, like, he's at a falafel stand in Manhattan, and he's like, oh, that smells good, and he's talking with his Australian accent, and he says, well, I've had falafel. I had one 2 months ago. Now all I have to do is look down at my stomach and remember that falafel. And so like, I don't have to have this falafel now because I had that falafel then. So I did that. And I did that with like, not as much at the time, but as I was thinking about it, it's like, I've had steak. And I'm explaining this whole idea to people. I've had some really good steak, and I've had chicken, and I've had chicken marsala, and I've had chicken marsala that was, comparable to what they were serving there. Actually, their marsala sauce, and I tasted the marsala sauce too. It was real heavy, and it was like, you know what, I don't need to have any more of this. I did ask for some more of the marinara sauce, and I did have about another half a tablespoon of that sauce, because it was delicious, it was good, and it was something to feel like I've had something, like I partook of the food of the wedding or something, I don't know, but it was a little something, it was a trinket, a trifle, and I had it, and I still feel good about it. Yes, it was cooked food, cooked tomato, I guess, in there, and oil or whatever, and I had a taste, and actually for a little while my stomach got really tight, and was like kind of angry about it, which was kind of weird. But then the wedding cake came, and it was a gorgeous cake. To look at it, and they fed each other, and they did a whole thing, and I'm wondering, and I'm looking at this as they're serving it, and I'm like, this looks pretty good, and as it gets closer to me, I'm like, you know what, I'll be better off if I don't get a piece in front of me, because I was thinking, I was really tempted to have one. I was kind of deciding I was cautiously going to have one, like, not be weak about it, and I was like, no, I can do better than that. So, when people are counting on me, and if I can do it, they can do it, and all that. So I took drew that strength from you, the people at home, and from my friends, and from people there, and was like, you know what, I'm not going to have this cake. But then I remembered a cake from my